Black women are not bosses. I'm sick of the narrative that black women are strong, independent.
I didn't say strong, independent. I said
we're not.
boss.
A man does not want a woman who says she's a boss. Sweetheart.
That means that we have to fix them, save them, train them, make them better, whatever. Like, no man is just going to be a good man.
Are modern women sabotaging their own relationships? Well, let's find out.
Is a man who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
He pays all the bills. He take care of the kids. He step in.
How he do that with no ambition?
No, he got money. I want more.
There's a saying today, your money is her money. Her money is her money. That is an exploitative relationship. And you don't want to have anything to do with a person like that. Now, men generally do not care about a woman's money. You're unlikely to find a man who's going to be out there saying, you know, I want to be with a rich, successful woman. It doesn't happen. It's not our nature. But now, if a woman is successful and she cannot even spend that money on her own children, on her own family, for the good of her family, what is the point of her being successful? It is useless. Therefore, it is better, gentlemen, to be very wary of such relationships and such women.
You know what?
He's complacent.
In the year when the job market is cooked, when the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you, and he is taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
I make my own money. I make more than him.
Ooh.
Right?
And you said he pays all the bills?
Yeah.
And you make more money?
Yeah.
Ungratefulness in our time is becoming very prevalent, and particularly in our relationships. And I know some of you men and women who might be watching this might have worked yourselves from very difficult situations in life where you had nothing, where you had to build yourself from scratch just to get yourself on an equal footing with other people. Some of you might have been homeless. It's a fact. Now, to have someone in your life close to you who does not appreciate the sacrifices which you have made, the hard work which you put in, is very crushing. And when dating, when looking for a partner, these are the things which you must take into consideration. Does she appreciate your hard work? Does she appreciate your sacrifices? Does she want more?
I wouldn't go for an independent woman.
Why?
Yes, that's
Why?
a man. That's like living with another man.
So you want someone you can control?
No, not control.
Someone you can
Yes,
lead,
thing. By the way, you people, you abuse this word control. Men love to control women.
Don't they?
Yes, thing. That's your favorite word. And then I want to ask you this. At the same time, these women expect to be protected by men.
Yes.
Why would you protect something you have no control over?
You want to control.
Why would you try to protect something you have no, control over?
Because you love it.
I've got a woman who's wild, who just does whatever she wants to do, but somehow I'm supposed to protect her. Why should I protect her when I have no control, no say whatsoever in her? You see, you people contradict you.
And you will pay the price for being involved with a strong, independent woman. A lot of men have paid this price in the courts, in divorce, where harrowing stories. Men can easily date the waitress, the young, feminine, and agreeable woman. She doesn't have to have a lot of things going for her. She doesn't have to be a lawyer or a partner in a firm. Men can date a woman as long as she's attractive and basically agreeable. This is what you need to feed into. You don't need to be looking for a woman who is climbing the corporate ladder and all those things. If she's invested in her career, which means she's less invested in her family, in her husband, why would you want to be in a deal like that?
You're not being disrespected, you're being corrected. And I had to learn that myself, because correction isn't always disrespect. You just don't know the difference. Every time your husband or partner tries to check you, correct you, hold you accountable, or tell you something you don't like, you take it as disrespect. And that's the problem. And it sounds like this. He might say, I don't like when you make decisions without asking me first. And instead of you hearing a man asking for partnership, you hear, he's trying to control me. He might say, every time we need to talk, you keep shutting down. And instead of you receiving that as accountability, you turn it into, oh, well, now everything's my fault. He might say, watch your tone when you talk to me. And instead of you fixing how you're coming across, you get defensive like he's attacking you instead of correcting your action. And see, that's where a lot of women get it wrong, because correction isn't always disrespect. Sometimes it's accountability. Overall, you want a man to lead, but you don't want to be told what to do. However, leadership does come with correction. You keep calling it disrespect when really it's correction you don't want to receive.
And that's what the modern woman is today in relationships. Every time you try and correct her, you are being abusive, you are being toxic. And a person like that already has her glass full. I would never advise anyone to be in a relationship with such a person, because the consequences are catastrophic.
I saw a video of a woman saying that women need to stop saying that there are no good men out there, because it just makes the patriarchy win, because then women will settle for less than they deserve because there are no good options, and that means that we have to fix them, save them, train them, make them better, whatever. Like, no man is just going to be a good man.
If today there aren't a lot of options when it comes to good men, this is because women mostly kicked out the fathers from the household. And these guys had no reference to be a man. And they are figuring it out the hard way. And this is the reason why women today are struggling. And it's going to stay this way until you have men raising men. And as for women trying to teach men to be men, impart masculinity on men, that is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. That is like having a dolphin trying to teach a shark to be a shark.
To that I say, I think women are just realizing that we don't need to be with a man at all if most of them suck. Trying to wade through all the bad ones to find a good one is exhausting. And women are realizing that they actually just don't even need a man at all to be fulfilled in their life. Women have been told forever that we need to get married and have kids to find fulfillment in life. And I can tell you right now, some of the happiest women I know are either unmarried, child-free, or both.
Listen, they've always said this for decades now, the same talking points. Some of the happiest women I know are those who are unmarried, without children, etc. If someone is happy, if someone is truly content, they don't have a need to broadcast it. They will just simply keep to themselves and enjoy their happiness. When you look today, women are the ones posting the most, complaining about men, about relationships. It's all women. You hardly ever see men posting any of these things.
Women are realizing that they actually just don't even need a man at all to be fulfilled in their life. Women have been told forever that we need to get married and have kids to find fulfillment in life. And I can tell you right now, some of the happiest women I know are either unmarried, child-free, or both. I do believe that there are good men out there. I know there are because I found one. He's amazing. But I think that right now women are realizing that we need to build a beautiful life that fulfills us and makes us happy without a man being a part of the equation at all. Once we have that, we can add a man in, and if he continues to add value to our life, continues to make us happier, continues to make us feel more safe and secure and free in our expression, amazing. But I don't think that holding men accountable for their actions and saying that men suck is going to make women settle for less. I think it's making us realize that maybe we just don't need them at all, and we can hold out until we really do find a good one instead of dealing with all the bullshit.
What exactly do they mean when they say they don't want to settle. Because monogamy, marriage, is not glamorous. It's not sexy. It's not something which resembles casually dating or having relationships or traveling, with your friends to an exotic location. No, marriage is about raising children. It's about finances. It's about working every day, putting in the work. It's about having the same partner over 10 years, over 20 years, over 30 years. It's about sacrifice. If someone has been casually dating, not having fun, nothing serious, going on trips, vacations, you should be casually dating until your 60s and going on trips until your 60s. You can't settle for marriage or monogamy. It's boring. It's not fun.
Feminism is one of the biggest scams. They're indoctrinating young girls. I was even indoctrinated to think that your career is going to bring you happiness. Then you hit 40s, 50s, not married, no children, and it's heartbreaking. You're not happy. And I'm so happy and so grateful that I figured this out in my early 20s. You have some women in their 30s, 40s listening to Cardi B, dedicating their lives to their career, and they're going to be miserable. They're creating a certain lifestyle for themselves, and no man is ever going to want them. And then we start hating on men because men prefer younger women. Well, that's not really men's fault, is it? It's society's fault. Society should have told girls when they were much younger that at that age, they're going to be most desirable. But no, they were busy building their careers and building all these different things, which unfortunately they wake up one day and realize just isn't satisfying enough. And so
This is what I think feminism wants us men to accept. They want women to date casually for a decade at least. Various men, different casual relationships, and possibly even date our friends. And when you are done with that escapade, men are supposed to man up and marry these women who have been on the market for a decade. And from that foundation, build a happily ever after marriage. That's impossible. You cannot have a variety of D for over 10 years, then magically settle for one man for the rest of your life. And the likelihood of that marriage ending in a divorce is very high. And this is what is happening today.
Black women are not bosses. I'm sick of the narrative that black women are strong, independent.
I didn't say strong, independent. I said
we're not.
boss.
A man does not want a woman who says she's a boss.
Insecure men don't want a boss.
No man. They respect you as your singer and they're pandering because of your talent. But are they taking you home and saying that's my wife?
Somehow.
There's a difference.
Somehow. That's
between your art and being a wife. Because the Bible, you talked about being a Christian, but it says the older women need to teach the younger women, and younger women need to listen and be submissive. But you know how many young women are not submissive to what men say? But you say you're a Christian woman. You can't be a Christian woman and buck against what men are saying. That is anti-biblical, it's anti-God, and it makes you the great whore of Babylon.
I'm going to be honest.
But don't claim Christianity if you're not willing to submit to when men are telling you. A lot of women are Christian feminists. You claim Christianity when it works in your favor, but you put down men and say, you're rebellious, you are antichrist, and you are legit.
And the sad thing is, a lot of people who claim to be Christians, who claim to follow God, do not live according to the way in which God requires. And this causes other people to question if it's worth it living a life of faith.
Even as a Christian woman, they listen to Satan more than they do their husbands, the same way Eve listened to Satan more than she listened to her husband. Her husband told her, don't touch that tree. So why are you even entertaining the tree? Counseled a woman years ago in Detroit. Her husband was cheating on her with another woman. They were both Christians. And one of the issues was that she would not do anything he asked her to do. One of them was how she dressed, her hairstyle. She said, these are my clothes. This is my body. This is my hair. This is my face. This is my makeup.
You need to have options with women. And you also need to have sexual discipline. You need to give off the vibe to a woman on a date that even if I don't sleep with you, I don't care. Even if I don't sleep with you ever, I don't care at all. And I can meet someone who I can be happy with. You need to be able to draw your boundaries and be firm with them. You need to know what you want from a woman. If you are not happy with how she's dressing and you tell her, if she's not happy with that, you move on. That's how you need to start the relationship off right at the beginning to avoid problems in future.
I said, let me ask you a question. I said, you love your husband? She said, yes. I said, you want him looking at other women? She said, no. So if he's only supposed to be looking at you, don't you think he should like what he's looking at? She was like, oh, that is beyond crazy. You don't want me to look at another woman. You say you love me. I'm only supposed to look at you. But at the same time, you don't want to look the way that I want you to look. Then why in the world did you marry me unless you were just using me? It's almost like there's a blindness.
A lot of people today have a form of spiritual blindness. And this is a result of not having a relationship with God. There's no prayer life whatsoever. And they genuinely believe that these outrageous things that they do, that there's nothing wrong with them. There you have it. Modern women sabotaging their own relationships. And if you have been watching up to this point, I really appreciate it. If you could give us a like and a subscribe and turn on your bell notification icon for next time when we drop a video. Please take care.